Okay, you can sit down. This game of tag also is totally optional. Okay, so again, we're going to chase, decide who's it. We're going to chase that partner around. When they catch you, you can either do crunches, push-ups, or a silly little dance, or nothing. You can just, and then you switch, and the next person's hit. And we're going to just play for like a couple minutes, and then we're going to stretch.
Oh, this is a worm.
I know, I'm not trying to kill you guys. But ready? Do you want, wait, who's it? Okay, decide who's it and then go!
Okay, you're it.
Oh, am I supposed to pick you? I don't.
That means you're it. I should look at this really separate.
Let's all grab just one hula-hoop. Just come into a circle. I went to tag her and I just ate shit. I was like, she like dove all in my mouth. It's funny. When you're running at top speed. So I really want to go around. There's a lot of you, so I probably won't remember all your names if I don't already know you. But I want to give it a shot and just go around and say our names really quick. I'm Mary Jane. I'm from Santa Cruz. I love hula hooping a lot.
My name's Corinna. I'm from Vancouver Island, Canada.
Woo!
I'm Tina from Portland. I'm Trinity from Seattle.
I'm Belle from Seattle.
Courtney from Corvallis.
Hi, I'm Rebecca from New York, and I would love to borrow a hula hoop from someone.
You can borrow one of mine, those clear ones in that pile.
Okay. Thank you.
Chloe, and I'm from Russia.
Nice.
I'm JB from Southern Oregon. Heather from Southern Oregon. I'm Mary from Seattle.
Tyler from Boston.
Cool, awesome. So let's take our hoops above our head and just really stretch out. You can keep your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width. And you can stretch over to one side, flip your hoop so that you can come down. And you can flip it again to come back up. And let's do that another time. Flip, up. And let's go in the other direction. And then step your right foot in front of you. Come into like a nice lunge and just stretch up. Give a little tiny back arch.
Whoa.
I think it's pushing my chest forward if I want to do an arch. And then feet together. Step your left foot in front. Arch. And then now, like, stretch whatever you guys need to stretch. What we're going to be doing in the workshop is a lot of stuff on our arms, just stretching your shoulders. You can do these ones really quick. We're also going to be trying to do stuff standing on one foot. So anything you need in your legs to get that, like, hip mobility going on. Okay, and when you're done, we should all start with 2 hula hoops. So I'll go get a second hula hoop.
Does it matter if they match?
It's very helpful if they're the same size. But it doesn't really, you'll still be able to do it, it just will be harder. Yeah, you can borrow a second one. Yeah, no problem. I wanted to share my philosophy on multi-hooping, which the approach I've been taking is looking at all of my limbs and seeing how many hula hoops that I can put on those limbs. Really utilizing my legs, my arms. One of the really good things about this workshop, which is going to focus on spinning hula hoop split time on our limbs, is that it allows you, when you're trying to do as many hula hoops as you can at once, to throw extra hula hoops on there. If you can spin 2 on each limb versus just 1, you're virtually doubling the amount of hula hoops you can do. So, well, we're going to work on our arms and on our legs, like I already mentioned. And the first move that you would learn that would be split time, first of all, does anybody not know what split time means? Or is anybody unfamiliar with that terminology versus same time? Okay, then let's touch on it really quick. So there's 2 timings when we're spinning stuff. One is same time and the other is split time. This is same time, where the hula hoops are moving at the same time. And this is split time, where the timings are now split. So we're going to be working on spinning them split time. Okay. So the first way to start this, and everybody, even if you've never done this before, everybody's just going to give it a shot to see where you're at. So I like to put one hand on my wrist and one hand on my hand. And I'm going to start this one spinning already and just let the other one chill on my wrist. Then I take one of my hands and give it a push. In the same direction, yes. And it's weird, they might not want to listen to you because this is new stuff for your muscles, so it might be pretty challenging to try that. Alternatively, you can also try hitting them at the same time, starting one on your wrist and one on your hand. And the reason that I split them up and put one on my wrist is that because eventually it's going to give you more control later. If I have both of them on my hand, I have like way less control. Really? That's great. Okay, well, we also have somebody who has more control the other way, so that's really, you find that easier with that. Cool. Really sweet. Well, we can try both ways then, whatever you feel is more comfortable. That's why I like teaching workshops, is because I learn more from you guys than you're probably going to learn from me. So I hate to break first that bubble there. And you can also try doing it, starting them both together and just starting them on your hand and seeing how that feels.
That's going to happen a lot.
When you hit the other hoop, are you hitting it in the same direction?
Yes, same direction. So I can either start here and hit it. It's almost easier, I think, if you just start them together, actually, and try and follow it together. Or get the feel of just starting one.
I know, I feel like I should stand back.
Yeah, this is definitely who will fly.
I won't go to your camera.
I want the camera.
It's okay. It's pretty tough.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It'll start to feel different. Like, you guys can also try just sticking them in same time so that you start to feel that distinction. So just starting them on your hands and trying to spin both of them together. And if you start them both on your hands and you're trying to get one to your wrist, if that's like what your thing is, it's really all about this thumb. So if they start together, you have to wedge your thumb in between them to separate them if that's what you're aiming for. And if you really got this down and you're like, wow, this is great, this is so easy, you can start trying to anti-spin it, like what you were doing. So if you're like really got that one down, then start playing with these guys. I'm like looking at Jamie because she's like a pro. Okay, I'm just gonna come around and see where everybody's at with this. down a little bit. Also, if you're having trouble with the one on your wrist, if you're going to try splitting them, you can also try just hula hooping on your wrist. It's kind of weird. And that's a good place to start, to just get that control on your arm. And this is one of my favorite drills for later. It doesn't necessarily come into play with what we're doing right now, but if you have one on your wrist here, and you try and shimmy it up your arm, and then come back, it'll be helpful later when you have a lot of hula hoops on you. And you need to have that control of where exactly it is on your arm.
So can you explain getting it to put down on your arm? It shimmies up, but then it
It's weird. It's totally other arm. Because you just kind of have to slowly.
I'm trying to do both arms.
And as you let it slide, exactly, that's it. It's awkward. So lots of practice. So yeah, practice either of those things. Yeah. But this is great.
Sneaking up my arm.
They will sneak up your arm. I see that everybody's sort of getting the basic idea of what we're doing, even if you don't actually get it today. It's all about taking stuff with you to practice. There's so much cool stuff you can do from here.
That may happen.
Great. Yeah, they're starting to split a little bit. It's weird when you're like trying to first get that distinction. I thought you were at the same time.
I like this. I go this way first, and that helps.
Yeah.
I just had to put that thumb under there.
You started together?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying.
No worries.
Throwing this at you about 10 times out.
It's okay. It'll toughen me up.
Good attitude.
I couldn't do that one until
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was.
I think that one's kind of the same. You just have to the body is what keeps it going. Just keep your wrist. Oh, sorry. Oh, nice. Just break it and then keep going.
Yeah. No, that was cool. Absolutely. Yeah, I actually taught us. I thought it was so hard. And then the one on the outside, when you get it against your hand, and it touches the palm of your hand, you actually grab it. Switch directions.
Somebody.
Oh, okay. Funny if you just say that. Oh, sweet. Yeah.
So I want to learn something else, and it's not in line totally with the workshop because it's not in split time, but it's still cool, and you can put it in split time if you want, but you can do opposite direction on one arm, so having one hula hoop going this way and the other hula hoop going that way in a butterfly. And the way to get into it, there's a billion different ways to get into it. One way, you could just start one in reverse and then hit them in opposite direction. But I think that, oh, I'm not even doing that. I think that's kind of confusing because it just confused me. So you could also just start them both on your, one on kind of like on your arm, a little bit closer to your elbow, and then one on your hand. And then do a little handbrake with the front one, so it looks like this. And then you could break back to the original direction. So just everybody practice that, getting one. It ends up close to my elbow, and this one's totally on my hand. And then I guess this is the split time.
That was awesome.
But to start, you want to get it in the same time.
Wait, do you split them opposite direction?
Okay. Oh wait, no.
Yeah, I like that.
This is great. All of your brains are like chunking away. I can see it in your faces. I also adapt this face sometimes when I'm doing it. Like Jamie's right there. It's like. And if anybody like really has this anti-spin it. So if you're like, this is so easy, an anti-spin with it looks like this. Clearly like that. I'll just do it again.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, but I'm gonna come around. Let's all just work on it for like 5 minutes. Because that's the key to all of this stuff, is just practicing it over and over and over again.
When this one starts to fall, do you just like bounce your arm more?
You mean when they're spinning and this one kind of gets to the wrist again?
Yeah, or it starts to just slow down?
Oh, yeah. So there's a couple things. Trying to get the bounce is good. Sometimes just starting over can be the best
Because you're like
bet
even
if
trying to
you're
just
really
move them.
Yeah. And then just like, anytime something's not working, try it again. Just a couple different more times and it'll slowly start to work more. Yeah, these are, it's really weird because these are really subtle muscles up into your forearm, so it's like super odd trying to train those muscles.
I'll get better at the left arm doing this. I can do it with the right arm.
Oops, sorry guys. Like totally messing with it.
I learned some years ago.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I get them both going.
Very nice. Oh, okay, for that particular move, it's just an arm bounce.
Okay.
So it's up and down. There's totally like a bouncing motion to it. It's like,
So to start, I like start the middle of my hand, immediately get my thumb in there. Got it. Momentum going and comfortable. Oh, but they were too close. If they're too close, they'll
oh, nice. Oh, yeah, that was great, Jamie.
And the other thing
This is also a space of creative exploration. If you think up a new move that is like so awesome, or even like turn into something
a little
awesome.
bit, you'll be amazed at how far the hoop moves up and then get it straight again. And it's, I think that keeping your arms straight is like a huge challenge. I keep losing this
It's really for this direction break that I talked briefly about this exercise with like trying to move things up your arm, because I find it's a lot easier to have to break the direction once it's already up here versus down on my wrist. So like if I'm starting, like let's say you wanted to start in split time, eventually you'll learn to wriggle it up your arm so that you can cleanly do this instead of them clicking at each other and getting in your way.
Yeah, I did try for a year, but on my wish.
Why can't I do it?
All the time. Like, okay, now.
Yes.
I keep losing this one.
Have you tried pushing them together? So starting with one hand on top here and then just anticipating their direction. Oh yeah, then maybe lose them both. You should anti-spin that.
No, it's so
I'll show you how in a second.
Okay, cool.
I think I'm going the opposite direction.
You should anti-spin that.
Oh yeah, no. It actually, all of this stuff you should try on your other arm and then in the other direction, because eventually when you get really, really good at all this stuff, you can do it and make like flower patterns and like really sweet stuff with it. So, try. Which direction are you going in? This way?
Other arm is so hard.
Yeah, or actually I was going the other way, so I'll try that.
Or you can go with. Okay, so you're gonna just push this hand down. So like.
Oh, I'm going the other arm.
Like forcing it so much.
I don't know why I'm doing it that direction on this arm.
Then if it's on your other arm, then you use your other hand to push it down. Oops, that was the wrong way.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird twist.
It's just like I can't even describe it. You just like go a little faster. When you go a little faster, they split, and when you slow down, they catch up with each other.
Okay, just a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna switch to a different plane.
Anti-spin.
Anti-spins.
I
Okay.
start mine differently than you, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So,
There's a ton of ways to start. Which direction? We're going the same way. So this one, what happens when you anti-spin is they have one of these moments at every pedal. So it becomes like out this way, up, out, down.
oh, I was going
out,
the wrong way
up.
to start.
Yeah, that'll make a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure.
And just having them connect with each other.
Oh yeah, that's much easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Mary.
Yeah.
Alright, other arm?
Okay.
Yeah, other arm.
So all that stuff we can just an opportunity to try with more than 2 hula hoops. But if you're really like, this is so fun, I'm gonna get my other 2 hula hoops from over here. Or maybe not, we can always start with 1 and then add a second and do up to 4. But the reason this is all so sweet is because eventually you do it with 4. Oh, that's good. And then super eventually, if you like practice your different timing and directions, or different directions I should say, you can start the split time in opposite direction and switch.
So pretty!
I think that was the best I've ever done it. So okay. Well, that was the just for fun section. Now we're gonna switch to what would you guys rather do? Same limb or like switch it up and go on our legs?
Legs.
Legs?
Both.
Okay, arm break. We're gonna go to the legs. Okay, so there's 2. I'm just gonna show you guys the 2 different planes that you can do this on with your legs. And it's could be very well that you're just practicing with 1 hula hoop, just getting this move. But there's a lot of fun stuff you can do once you're on your feet. You can spin it split time. I'm sure you could go in, let me see if I can do this. Ninja. No. I was trying to hit the opposite direction. But anyhow, you can also go, this is the other plane we'll eventually be working in, which is on top, which you can do a lot of, oops, hold on, let me do it better for you guys. Okay. Let's start with the vertical plane. So I think to start, we should all get partners. Or actually, before you get a partner, just to assess where you're at, you can drop your hula hoops and just try standing on 1 leg. This bottom leg should be really straight. You're really engaging in your quads here and really pushing up into it. And also your core muscles really help out here too when you're trying to stabilize yourself. And then you can start with the bent leg, but try and kick that leg out. And really the best drill exercise for learning this move is to try and do holds like this and try and you can start and see where you're at. So you can keep your leg this high if that's what's comfortable for you. You can keep it this high. Woo! Go really ambitious.
I can't do that.
Some of you are great, yeah. I mean, all of us are great, but some people are great at doing this. And then you can try standing on the other leg.
Oh yeah, the other one.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of probably it's best if you take your shoes off for this too, once we actually add the hula hoops. I know. We should play tag again.
Yay!
You can see, she's just like.
I need to practice getting more flexible.
So we should definitely get with partners when we try this on our foot, because it's really helpful when you're learning to have someone stabilize you.
Take your shoes off.
And there's 2 ways to get it on your foot. One of them, which I find to be a little bit easier if you can get the hand to foot change, is just to spin it on your hand. You can bend your leg to start this. You don't have to start out here, but try and just pass it gently to your foot and get it here. Again, if it's more comfortable to bend your leg, as long as you're flexing your foot, the foot will have a shelf to be on. Or you can also, if you're having trouble that way, just sticking it on your foot with either a bent or a straight leg and just pushing it, trying to get that. So let's just all try that before we worry about adding that second hula hoop in. Yeah, that was cool. So yeah, get with your partner so that if you need to stabilize Or like, even if you want to both try together and you're about the same height, you might be able to go back to back and try and have some stability. I don't know, I've never tried that with anybody, so it might not work.
Another way to get it.
Oh, share, please. Oh, bummer.
Someone just said that.
Oh, that's a good one.
I like guitar, just get the lower end.
What was your name again?
Rebecca.
Rebecca. Rebecca just shared another fun way to get into this, which if you guys want, you can try if you're feeling good, where you just start here and sweep up into it. I didn't really do it there, but there we go. This is looking good. Do you want to use me as a stabilizer? Okay. To start it? Okay, so try this. Try bringing your leg in and starting with a flexed foot. Trying to bring it as high as you can and pushing it to whatever direction you want. So if you're going this way to that side. And then just trying to get your leg high enough that you can clear it. Yes. It might be easier without your fingers. Yeah, but you feel free to keep them on.
I've sort of found I have to put my foot.
You can also try this, just hand sitting it, and then getting your ready. You can almost like slide your foot right into it.
Oh, cool.
What's the sweep thing?
Yeah.
I'm like going to tight roll my pants into for the socks.
You start here. You can either cross your leg or stick it out here. It doesn't matter. Whichever way your leg is, you're going to sweep to the opposite side. So I'm going to start here and sweep this way.
Well, we're doing the opposite way, right?
What if I want it like this? You can start here.
It's like that.
And sweep this way. Yeah, but I can't. Can you do this full body roll, Jamie, where you're here? Oh, I didn't catch it. I've done it like, it's not very good. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I can do that one already.
That one. Sorry. Hey, so how are you guys feeling? Are you ready to like move on a little bit? If you have it down with one hoop, then we could try 2 hoops. If you don't have it down, then we can just practice this for 10 more minutes and it'll be awesome for your hooping life. To just like practice and drill for a little while. But for those of you who are ready to start practicing with 2 hoops, we're gonna stick one on the foot out here. This is where form really comes in when you're trying to do the 2 hoops. So really having that firmly engaged bottom leg and that intention with your core muscles is stabilizing you. There's all this fun stuff you can do. You can isolate here. You can stick it. I usually start the split time like somewhere around the top of my ankle and then just give it a good hit. And then you just kind of have to do it a lot.
In practice.
When I was learning, I noticed that my foot going in a side-to-side motion was helpful to me, but really the only way I learned this trick was to like build up the endurance of being here and